Well, hello everybody. We're going to make something I've never made before, but I love salmon, I love eggs, I love cheese, so I love all the ingredients that are going in this dish. So I think I will love the dish, and I think you will too. First off, we got to preheat our oven to 325 or 350. Then we got to have at least 8 or 9 slices of bread. I'm not sure how many I got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got enough bread, I think. I got some Texas toast, which is wider, thicker than the other bread, but I'm going to use it anyway. And first off, you got to cut the crust off of your bread. I don't know why they want you to do that, other than maybe it looks better. I have no idea. And I've got a heel here, so I don't know how I'm going to cut. I may not have to use that. But then you cut it in diagonal, in triangles. Let me get this other bread out here. I have got a gnat flying around me that will not leave me alone, y'all. He's bugging me. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if I can cut all this crust off at one time. It won't take me so long. You can always save your bread that you cut off the crust and use it for breadcrumbs for another dish if you need breadcrumbs for something. Let's see if I can cut them diagonally. And then just kind of put them round in a spiral to cover the bottom. And you know what? I think I'm going to put my heel in the very bottom of it. See if I can cut that diagonally. Because I don't, hey, it's all bread. I don't know why they would want you to cut all the crust off. But just kind of do it around in a spiral with your bread slices until you get the whole bottom covered. And then we're going to take it up on the side and put the pointy part up and put our bread around the edge of the pie pan. Oh, and I forgot something very important. I forgot to grease my pan, y'all. I was skipping a step. And I'm going to grease mine with a little bit of butter. That'll do it. Eliminate quite as much mess if you use your paper towel really know how they did it. I really don't. But you cover the whole bottom of it with your spiral bread. I have got a gnat ear who y'all won't leave me alone. And then you take slices of it and you turn it up, like almost to make a crown, because you got the pointy part sticking up at the top, and that's kind of your crust around the edges of your pie pan. And I've got a tablespoon of butter here that I'm going to try to melt up here on the oven, because I just want it melted enough to brush the tops of these with. I mean, I don't know if all this is going to go in this, because we got 6 eggs, we've got cheese, we've got a whole can of salmon. How is that going to fit in here? Well, we'll find out, I guess. But it said a 9-inch pie pan, and that's what this is. A 9-inch pie pan. And it didn't take quite all my bread. Let's see if I can get this bread crumbs out of the way. Well, shoot, I can put that in a measuring cup right here, because I'm going to put that in the oven, and I'm going to dry it out a little. Then make breadcrumbs with it. Yeah, that's got it at a good consistency. And you just want to brush the tips of your bread with your butter. That's one thing about summertime. You get flies, you get gnats flying around. Probably not going to even need this whole tablespoon of butter. But this is a 9-inch pie pan, so I don't know. It don't look big enough for me. But we'll see. I'm just going to put the rest of it on the rest of the bread. That'll just give it a good taste, because I'm going to put butter in it anyway. Now, I am going to go ahead and get a pan to put this in so I can put it in the oven. And you could dry them like this, make your own breadcrumbs to make it like in loaf or anything else. And you can break them apart, fix them ever how you want. You don't even have to do that. You can just dehydrate them like they are. Leave them in long sticks. It doesn't matter. And I am going to break them up a little. I'm not seasoning them or anything because I'm not sure how I'm going to use them, whether I'll use them in like a meatloaf or what kind of dish I'll put them in. But I am going to put them in here and let them dehydrate. Because you can store them in a plastic bag later. All right, okay, now what we're going to need to do is open our salmon and drain it. And I would give the juice to Lucky, but he does, believe it or not, he will not eat the water from the salmon. He loves the tuna water, but he does not touch the juice from the salmon. I don't know why, but he does not. I've tried him and little buddy both with it, and they will not touch it. But you drain it out. Get that smell out of there. And put it in this. I may need a bigger bowl. I don't know if that'll even hold it. Rinse that out so it doesn't smell up the kitchen too bad and attract too many more of those ants and stuff. Now, in this particular dish, I will take the biggest bones out. There's only a few in there. I'm also gonna mix up my eggs. Oh, let's see. I've got 6 eggs that I am going to put in here. Now, if these were farm-raised eggs, I'd be checking each egg before I put them in the bowl, but usually when I buy them from the store, I don't have that problem, so. Now, I'm just going to whip up these eggs to begin with. Now, I'm going to use about 1/4 of a cup of green onions, and I went out in the garden and got them a little while ago. So let me chop them up. I used to love to scramble eggs in fish roe when I was growing up. Because when my dad would go fishing during shad season, they catch these big old shad fish. And they had the biggest fish roe in them. Oh my God, you know, the fish eggs, caviar. And he'd always save that, the fish eggs, because it's so good to stir it up in eggs and make scrambled eggs for breakfast in the mornings. It's really good. If you've never tried it, you need, well, if you're in an area where you can get shad roe, most people are not, so. Woo. Now I'm just going to put my onions right in there. And I think I'll have to use my, ooh, my eyes are burning, y'all. We've got 3/4 cups of milk. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of dill. And I'm not even getting a regular measuring spoon. I'm going to put salt and pepper. And I'm going to put some of this soft butter in there. About a tablespoon. Now I'm going to mix this up real good until I get this all mixed up, and then I'll add my other ingredients. Now I'm going to add my flaked up salmon, because it's already like in little chunks. You put 1 whole can of the salmon in there. I may have to use another little pan to put the rest of this in. I don't think this pie pan's going to hold all this. And then a 1.5 cups of cheddar cheese. Shredded cheese. Now, if you prefer the sharp, you can use the sharp. I usually just use the mild. That gnat is going to drive me crazy. He smells this fish and oh, he's going crazy. If I have to, I'll get another little baking dish out and put some bread in there. And now that's basically all there is to it, except putting it in your pan. Now I didn't sprinkle cheese on the very bottom. That's what I should have done. Instead I dumped it all in the mixture. But it says to put half the cheese on the bread, and then the other half in your mixture. Well, it does fit in there, I guess. It doesn't come out the top. But I'm definitely going to put a pizza pan under this, because I don't want it to boil over or bubble over. And of course that milk and stuff is going to soak up into the bread. And it get that butter mixed up very well, but it's good enough. It'll melt and it'll go all over in here. Now we're going to bake it at that 350 or 325 oven. Some people's oven gets a little hotter than others, so you'll have to judge. And we're going to cook it like 35 to 40 minutes until my eggs are set. And if your bread starts browning too much, cover it with a little bit of aluminum foil to keep it from burning on the edges. So let me get that pizza pan. Just because I'd rather clean the pizza pan than to clean the oven. See that? It looks good already. I can't wait. So like I said, we're going to put it in this 350 degree or 325, depending on how hot your oven gets, for 35 to 40 minutes. And I can probably take my bread out by now. Oops. Yeah, let me get my bread out. Because it's already toasted. It's already croutons. There you go. 35 to 40 minutes. And see, you can make croutons like this. So you wouldn't have wasted your bread that you cut off. You could have seasoned them with butter, salt, garlic, any type of seasoning, Italian seasoning or anything that you wanted to, and make yourself some homemade croutons. But we'll be back in about 35 to 40 minutes. Well, my pie's been cooking for like 45 minutes, so I'm pretty sure it's done. It cooked in there about 20 minutes, and then I covered it with foil to keep my little tips from burning. Whoops. You can turn this oven off. But there is our Alaskan salmon bake right there. And it's got to cool off a little bit before I cut into it. But don't that look good? Oh my goodness. Look at this. There is my Alaskan salmon bake. That looks so good. I can't wait to dig in. Let's see if this thing is cooled down enough that I can cut it. It may not be, and it's still pretty hot. And the way your bread is in there, that is supposed to be a portion. So you get cut it in six pieces basically. See if I can find my pie server. Maybe it will come out a lot easier with that. If it didn't stick. I'm hoping it didn't. Whoop! Look at that, y'all. My Alaskan salmon bake. That looks really good. It's hot. Y'all take the first bite. Mmm. That is so good. This is a winner, y'all. You need to try it. If you like salmon, you will love this Alaskan salmon bake. Mmm. Now you can eat this as a complete meal, or you can serve green beans, maybe a salad with it. But that is good right there. Y'all take another bite. Go ahead, don't be shy. Alaskan salmon bake, y'all. Make you one. I think you will love it. Alaskan salmon bake, y'all. It is so good. Try it. If you love salmon patties, you will love this recipe. Alaskan salmon bake.